Hey guys, LevelCap here. Today we're going to be getting 500 kills with the FAMAS assault rifle for the Mastery dog tag. So far with the Mastery series, you guys have been posting in the comments which gun you would like me to master next, and I've been seeing a lot of people wanting me to master the SR338. So I have noted that, I am working on it, and it's going to take me a little while before I can get that video out because that gun is a pain in the butt. The next most requested gun to unlock was the FAMAS, so you guys are going to get that one a little bit sooner because assault rifles, let's face it, are a lot easier to get kills with than sniper rifles, especially when it's one of the worst sniper rifles in the game. Now the FAMAS is a French bullpup design assault rifle that is very recognizable. It's got an iconic handle on top, which in its later edition has also turned into a dual function handle and rail system. The handle also serves the function of making it very easy to hand the weapon over to any aggressors, which I imagine comes in handy if you are in the French military. Just kidding, of course. I would not want to run into any French commandos running an upgraded FAMAS out there. And speaking of upgraded FAMAS, the edition that we're playing with in Battlefield 4 and Battlefield 3 also is a special edition of this gun actually made for commando units. Now when trying to look up this exact model of FAMAS, I found it very hard to find an identical model online. The closest I could find was the FAMAS Felin, which does have a similar rail system on top, but also has an interesting integrated foregrip, unlike this model which actually has a rail underneath allowing you to attach different foregrips on there. I'd love to hear in the comments if anybody can actually find this specific edition of the FAMAS online, or if perhaps DICE actually maybe modded the FAMAS a little bit to create their own version. Now the original FAMAS F1 came into service in the French military in the late 70s. Unfortunately, it had a lot of problems that have kind of plagued the gun for a long time. In fact, it's still in service right now widely throughout the French military. They did upgrade the model to the G2, which accepted the standard Pecheneg magazines, which you'll find in an M4. Now, despite several different versions of this gun being made as upgrades and modifications and whatnot to try and improve the weapon itself, it seems like the French are finally going to phase out the FAMAS from its actual military. Officially, in 2014, they've actually posted something saying that they are going to order 90,000 new assault rifles made by a different company. So aesthetically, I'm sad to see the FAMAS go, but I'm sure it makes a lot of sense in the real world. Now how about Battlefield 4? Where does the FAMAS sit on the food chain of assault rifles? What are its strengths and weaknesses? Well, one of its best attributes is an extremely high rate of fire, 1,000 rounds per minute, putting it at one of the highest damage per second assault rifles available. Certainly the highest rate of fire assault rifle available. And in true Battlefield fashion, this weapon has certainly got to be nerfed for having a 1,000 round per minute rate of fire. Which area is it nerfed in? Well, pretty much every single area. Not only does it have a nerfed magazine size of 25 rounds instead of the standard 30 that most Pecheneg style weapons get, but you also have an incredibly high recoil and not particularly accurate aiming down sight. And as if having a 25 round magazine that's going to run out faster than any other assault rifle out there wasn't bad enough, you're also going to have an incredibly long reload. The short reload on this alone is 2.8 seconds. Since you're going to be running through your whole magazine, more than likely you're going to hit that long reload, which is 3.55 seconds. There's very few things in Battlefield that take that long to reload aside from machine guns. Its hipfire is decent, certainly better than the average assault rifle, but it's again nothing to write home about. So let's kind of sum up some of the stats here. It's got extremely long reload, really high recoil, some of the highest out there, and a nerfed magazine of 25 rounds. It does, however, try and make up for this with a 1,000 round per minute rate of fire. Can this actually balance out the weapon and make it good? One of the setups that I found particularly successful was using an angled foregrip to really reduce that first shot recoil and a compensator to try and handle some of the extremely high side-to-side recoil. This would allow me to accurately do very short bursts at opponents that were far away. This would actually let me take out targets really far away despite this gun having some crazy recoil. I threw a laser sight on there, which I turned on and off as needed, but certainly for the close quarter areas, it really did help drop people fast with that hip fire. The one thing you want to remember with this gun is to be accurate. Don't start shooting until your crosshair is on target. Otherwise, you're going to be wasting so much of your limited magazine because you just fire so quickly with this gun, you can't afford to waste any bullets. Which brings me to my next point, getting multi-kills with this gun is very difficult to do. It's pretty much a 1 kill per magazine type weapon. I mean, you can certainly get more than that, 3 if you try really hard, but it's going to be very difficult, and chances are it's not going to happen to you very frequently. So that 1 kill, then your extremely long reload of 2.8 seconds. Now, how is this going to affect your playstyle? Well, it's certainly going to make you want to be more conservative. Rather than running in and trying to take out multiple targets, you're going to want to pick off 1 or 2 and then retreat immediately. This kind of keeps you at a medium range most of the time. I know a lot of the gameplay here you're going to see in close quarters, which is frankly unavoidable in Battlefield 4, but if it were up to me, I would try and keep it mostly medium range and have a lot of good fallback points to try and run back to, get that reload off, and then re-engage. How does this differ from the playstyle with, say, a faster reloading assault rifle like the M416? Well, you can be more aggressive, get 1 or 2 kills, reload very quickly behind limited cover, and then re-engage. When you have a reload that is less than 2 seconds for the short reload, it puts you back in the action very quickly. It's really surprising to think about what just 1 extra second on your reload time does to your entire gameplay style. Now, certainly you're going to want to play on maps that have a lot of good cover, good buildings that you can hide in, good corners that you can fall back behind, really far behind, and that's where the FAMAS is going to excel. Extreme long ranges is not where you want to use this. Medium range is ideal with, again, maximum cover available. Here we're going to switch over to a fun little clip being played on Propaganda Conquest mode. This is the completely destructible version of Propaganda, and it's a lot of fun to play in, and I love just watching the buildings blow up around me. Here you're going to see me get the FAMAS Mastery dog tag. 500 kills down, but you can't stop there, especially if you want to get every single unlock for this weapon. You're going to need to get 510 kills to get every single battle pack. Now, despite me having my preference for how I like to run this assault rifle, there's another really effective way to run it that I've seen a lot of people using the FAMAS, and that's with using a suppressor. You could use a suppressor and angled foregrip, you could use a suppressor and ergo grip in addition to the laser sight to try and balance out some of that hipfire penalty you're going to get with the suppressor, but that's basically going to keep you off the minimap and allow you to get that extremely long reload done before your enemies figure out your position and come around and get you. So that pretty much wraps it up for this mastery video. Overall, the FAMAS is certainly a formidable assault rifle in close quarters. It's going to be very hard to outgun this weapon, but just for one opponent, and frankly, Battlefield is a game with multiple enemies that you gotta worry about. Perhaps a very small competitive game where you're dealing with 1 or 2 enemies, the FAMAS would be perfect, but since you're dealing with usually a whole squad of guys in this situation, the FAMAS is going to be very difficult to use on some of the more action-packed rounds, and I would definitely like a more versatile gun, something with a bit faster reload. Let me know in the comments which weapon you would like me to master next. I'm going to have a list in the video description of the weapons available to master, and again, I am working on the SR338. It's just going to take me a little longer to get that video done. As always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. This is LevelCap signing off.